Three, two, one.
Here we go!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the GKA Kite-Surf World Championship here with our headline sponsor of Qatar Airways. You know what? There is looking like there are great conditions out there on the water. We are going to be starting off with the kite surf discipline today as we're going to get the action ready to rumble as it is the season finale. The World Championship title race is all up for grabs. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? We're going to find out in the next couple of days. But before we get into the action, let's check back a couple of months ago when we were in Dahla for the first event of the season. Rejoining the competition at the quarterfinal stage for both the men and the women, this was always going to be a day of tense action. Wave selection and taking opportunities was key. The best and most compact carving performers made it to the women's final. The wind picked up, and after coming into the beach to drop it down a kite size, Capucine Dahla took advantage of the extra control against Frances Kelly. Dahla repeatedly fired down the line with power to cement her first win in Morocco.
So crazy, the conditions were epic, the wind was really strong and the waves were big. It was so cool, just the set were coming, and it was so nice. I had a lot of fun. Winning this event means a lot. I had some unfinished business here in Dahla. I didn't take the win last year, well, I had to share the first place, so winning it this year means a lot to me. And well, it's the first event of the year, so it's great starting the season well.
The men's quarterfinals were littered with what could have been matchups worthy of a final. Most striking was Ayrton Cosolino versus Sebastian Ribeiro. In a heat rare on big wave opportunities, the best swell fell to Ribeiro, who mechanically dissected every section. Ribeiro went on to break Moroccan hearts, beating local hero Mohamed Ali Bakali in the semis and met current world champion James Grew in the finals, who was turning up his own performance heat by heat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to talk to people, I'm here to win, so just trying to keep that extreme level of focus and be in my zone and, yeah, get the job done.
I'm so happy. I mean, he's the underdog. He's local, but when you go to competitions like this, you're always looking for the big names. But he beat it. Every single hit he was beating like most of the good guys. I was just trying to really focus on myself and, as I said, hit by hit.
In the final, James emerged full power surfing with elements of freestyle, landing 2 clean airs on the inside right in front of the judges. Sebastian found some high-scoring rides of his own, but late in the heat he was in a combo situation, needing to find 2 high 9-point rides to go ahead. Carew had peaked at just the right time in the competition's final with the highest score of the contest.
Yeah, I mean, this event was insane. The conditions were just crazy. I never saw this place like this. And even leading up to this event, the hype was so crazy. We weren't sure if it was going to happen or not. But yeah, it's been insane. You know, a bit of a roller coaster. Focusing on the goal, focusing, you know, trying to keep that extreme focus and just get the win, and it all paid off. So here we are.
The Australian outpunched his teammate, utilizing his immense grunt and grit to muscle his way to the top, and now leads the kitesurf division of the Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour. And welcome back, everybody, to the Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour here with the strapless discipline out there on the water. We are here in the beautiful north coast of Brazil here, and this location has been the water sports haven so far as we are getting ready to enjoy yet another competition of action out there on the water. As we all know, it is the second event of the strapless year where the world title race is pretty much all open. We have a few main contenders as James Carew won that first event over in Dahla together with Capucine Delanoy on the women's side. But we also have players such as Pedro Matos, Sebastian Ribeiro, Machu Lopez, Francis Kelly, Joanna Catarina Edding, who want to definitely trip the current ranked #1 riders and take the crown home. We will have to see what finds out. We will have to see what goes down, as it is looking like conditions are looking good down there on the beach. And to talk a little bit about the beach, let's go down as I have my compañero, my colleague, Liam Dregg, who is about to give us a little weather update. How's it over there, Liam?
Joe, you couldn't have said it any better. The world title chase is on, and I'm certainly revved up and ready to go. But this morning, 11 o'clock, skippers meeting took place. So let me tell you one thing, there are all the riders here, all the big names ready to compete. So it sure is building, the suspense is coming. Conditions right now, they've got better as the day's gone on for sure. The waves are getting a little bit steeper, they're starting to form a little bit nicer, the tide is coming in. So plan with the judges is to start with the kite surf and then look at moving on to the hydrofoil freestyle once the tide goes super high. But it sure does look good. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's kites in the air. The guys are out there getting the practice time. Practice makes perfect. So wind definitely building as well. I'd say probably looking at about 18 to 20 knots at the moment, and it's only going to get stronger. So what does that mean? It's only going to get better, and I cannot wait to see the competition later on today.
Thank you, Liam. Yeah, it definitely looks like it is going to get bigger and better as that tide pushes up. The idea is that we're going to be continuing on with the kite surfing until about 2:30 local time, and then we switch over to the other discipline that we have this week, which is the hydrofoil freestyle. But now the name of the game is the hacks, the turns, the twirls, and the spins. Let's have a little talk about the competition format. As it goes out there, round number 1 of competition, we have 3 men athletes in the water. So what happens is there's going to be 12-minute heats. The first 4 minutes of the heats, the athletes have to perform their trick maneuver, because 1 trick counts. They have 5 trick attempts, and 1 trick will count. When those 4 minutes end, they go into the remaining 8 minutes of their heats, where they are looking for the top 2 best waves out there. So basically the athletes will be scored on 1 best maneuver and 2 top waves. But as there's 3 athletes, to avoid judges being able to miss any of the maneuvers out there, they are going to be split up. So that is the competition format that we have here for the season finale. As you can see, already starting to get it going. But before we start, as the red flag is going to hit the sky at 12:15, we're going to take a short commercial break.
Wherever you go in the world, one airline goes further to make it feel exceptional. Qatar Airways, going places together.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back as we are about to get started out on the water. As from the information we have so far, in about 5 minutes, that red flag is going to hit the sky, meaning that it is going to be going into sequence. 12 minutes with a 3-minute transition out there at the moment. And we are just getting ready. What is going to happen? We have 4 minutes, the 12-minute heats. The first 4 minutes of the heats, you will see the green flag hit the sky, meaning that they will then have to perform their best trick. So let's say best maneuver. They have 5 trick attempts. Each athlete's 3 in the water. When we get to the 4th minute, a blue flag will also hit the sky, meaning that it is time for the athletes to perform on the waves, where the judges are looking for their top 2 scores. So they're looking for their top 2 waves. The end result of the heat will be based on 1 trick maneuver and the top 2 surfed waves out there. As it is a 3-man heat, it is going to be split up. And I tell you what, having a little look-see at the ladder, there are some big heats coming up already in round number 1. And then let's not forget, round number 1, each rider has a second chance, so the winner will make it through to round number 3, and then the bottom 2 will have to battle it out in round number 2, where only 1 will survive. So already we can see some of the athletes training out there. Conditions are good. Look at the Qatar Airways flags just flapping in the Taiba wind. The sun is shining, the palm trees are out, the board shorts, the bikinis. This is Brazil, baby, and we are about to get started. Oh, here we have it. Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour Strapless Division Season Finale. Get a hold onto your hats, because I know there is some big action going to be coming our way, as it is a world title race out there. As we mentioned before, current number 1 and reigning world champion James Carew looking in top form, and basically just wants to destroy everybody out there on the water. But I know there's the likes of Pedro Matos, Sebastian Ribeiro, and Machu Lopez, the top contenders who want to have a push and give him a run for his money. On the ladies' side, all eyes are definitely on Capucine Delanoy, who is also ranked number 1 this year. And she is looking to go and get that world title. We will have to see. We will soon find out. And let's see if she can grab at that first title there for herself. But we have Joanna Caterina Edding and also Frances Kelly closely on our heels, and just waiting for information to come our way, as it looks like we will be starting very shortly. And welcome everybody as we are just starting out there on the water, and we can see already Keanu Mertens there on the front of your screen getting ready to rumble. There we can see Jairo Neto, and also out there is going to be Artur Moraes. Neto already putting on a very impressive performance out there yesterday in some of the warm-ups as we start to go on. We start off this heat, so now they have 4 minutes. They have 4 minutes to perform their freestyle maneuver. Alright, so Keanu starting off trying to get some moves here. We have Neto with the back roll. Rodeo, very nice there from him, very nice. Obviously, as we have 3 guys in the water, we are trying to get as many maneuvers as possible. Here we have Artur Moraes going up. Just a nice little board off as he wraps himself around. Here we can see just coming up on minute number 2 of this 4-minute first freestyle section. Because let's not forget, it is 1 freestyle maneuver, 2 waves. So there we have Keanu Merton here on the front, pushing his way forward. Keanu, one of the top freestylers. He's been Spanish champ various times coming out of Spain. There's this Estepona, El Bicho. Looking like he was trying to go for something, but decided against it. Here we can see Neto again. Oh, and some surfity surf here on the inside, but unfortunately this wave will not count, because as he is surfing that wave in the freestyle section of this heat, sometimes some of the new riders don't quite understand it. All right, there we have back loop rodeo, and again a little Brazilian claim there as well. And just waiting for some scores, because at the moment it does look like Keanu Mertens has the highest score, and Jairo Neto there just waiting for a score to be landed for him. So 40 seconds left of this first freestyle section. Keanu Mertens on your screen. Let's see what the other riders are doing. And there we can see Artur making his way out. Let's go to Jairo Neto. Here he is on the inside, as he knows he's got a little bit longer. And Keanu going down, but looking by the scores that I have a little bit earlier information here for you. All right, so here it is as we just approach the 8-minute mark. The blue flag is in the sky, so now it comes down to the waves. So now they have 8 minutes to perform their top 2 waves. And now they're going to continue on, and it does look like here Artur unfortunately does not quite understand it, as he is kind of jumping and surfing at his own will. So now just looking out there on the water to see what is going to be happening. We can see even kite changes happening as they have 8 minutes to perform those top 2 best rides. And I can tell you at the moment, as scores have appeared, Keanu Merton in first, Jairo Neto in second, Artur Moraes in third. That is the scores on the freestyle side. And now let's have a look, see at the surfing. It definitely, you can see here. All right, entering in on with a nice little shove it with a reverse over there, but not. Again, you definitely see that Artur does not understand the format, unfortunately, so he needs to start surfing and stop jumping, as now it comes down to the wave. So let's have a look. Let's follow this rider here, Keanu Mertens, on his first wave. Up and over, a little bit of a foam ball ride, but going down early on that one. So that's going to be a crash for him, unfortunately. All right, here we can see Neto. A lot of action out there in the water with 3 men. Neto here, he's eyeing up a section, coming in pretty much front and center into the competition area. And I think he's waiting for the moment. Yep, there it is. All right. So starting the surf off the top, letting a nice little tail loose. Coming down, flat section here. Bit of a cut back, no hand, into the power section of the wave as this white water comes down. So kind of a one-hit wonder there for him, but still not too bad, not too bad. As it continues on, now we can see it. Keanu Mertens looks like he's making his way back, but let's have cameras on Artur with the green kite, as it looks like he is going to be dropping in on a wave, but turning around. So Keanu here knows he needs to start to get some waves on if he wants to start to improve his scores. All right, there we can see Artur looked like he was trying to go in on something, but no. So let's follow this man here, Neto. All right, so Neto on the inside. Let's go. Starting off with another wave, going for the one behind. Are we going to see the old schmackaroo? No, we're not. Deciding against it. And here we have Mertens. Here we have Keanu. Boys are not really finding waves. Here he is, drops in. Keanu off the top, lets the tail loose. Big hack there for him, but going down one more time. He's got to keep him together. Beautiful top turn here for Moraes. Over and over. 2 big frontside hacks here from the Brazilian. Let's not forget, Brazil is known for its surfing, and some of the locals are going to put some damage in with some of the veteran riders. It's always one of the things when you come out to these locations, there's unknown underdogs, and they absolutely mix the thing up, but that just keeps it interesting out there. All right, so here we can see Moraes going out one more time. Eyes on Mertens. Let's have eyes on Mertens. There he is. Great work here by our camera crew. Mertens dropping in. Just not quite getting the link on that bottom turn. A little bit all over the place. This is looking like a better hack. Off of the top, but trying to go too big and folding. At the moment, we have Mertens looking like he is in 3rd position. And here we have Neto dropping in, as he already has a 2.77 for his first wave. Cut back a little bit to the power section. Can he time this one right? Because it's looking like it's jacking up very nicely. Good timing and release throughout the top. Driving through those fins. And there we can see a nice turn there from him. Pretty much one-hit wonders out there. Some of the guys really aren't linking it together. And talking to our head judge, Mallory, he said that the athletes in these conditions that will manage to link maneuvers together, to have flow, to have the style, and to make it look like surfing, that is when the big numbers are going to start to drop. And all of the athletes making their way out. Keanu definitely needs to start to work and push forward if he wants to get past these 2 Brazilians. As all of them make their way out. And it looks like this man there is coming in on a set wave. So let's stay with him. Artur Moraes currently in 2nd position. Cameras on Keanu. As I can see him down on the left-hand side. All the way down, guys. There he is. Starting to grab a wave. So Keanu already got one check turn in there. Another cutback turn, but going down again. Not quite got his mojo right so far, this young athlete. Let's not forget this is not an elimination round, but look at this set wave dropping in here. Twiggling with the lines. All right, Moraes. Big open face hack. Nice speed throughout. Nice double pump on the bottom. Once again, carting back. One arm round the house to the whitewater section. Very stylish. Nice surfing here from this young man. Up again. Lets that tail loose. Flashing the water out. Spraying the crowd. And ending it up with a nice 360 there. That is the best wave we've seen so far. And a lot of flow. A lot of style. Moraes is definitely, I reckon, going to be moving through into first position after that surf, as he already has, see his backup wave of 1.17, and that was a good way to start off his heat. As we continue on, just waiting for that number to be dropped for him. Neto off the top, pushing. Look at the determination in his face. You can even see the teeth and hear the roar. 6.20 for that last wave from this man, and he definitely has the knowledge. You can see pugging it off right on the sweet spot. Oh, great move, and keeps linking it. This is another big score for him, showing pure control. And a little smirk, a little smile, as he knows he's had a good wave there, and he's just going to ride this foam ball all the way in. And I tell you what, every time we come to Brazil, it doesn't matter if it's freestyle, if it's wing foiling, if it's kite surfing, or if it's caipirinhas, there are always a couple of Brazilians that will put a mix in or a spanner into the works. And I tell you what, that has just happened there, because Artur Moraes, beautiful surfing throughout that heat in this heat number 1 of round number 1. Let's have a little look at the action highlights. And welcome back, everybody. As coming up next, we will have Wesley Silva, Clement Rosselló, and Kelton Lopez. There we can see Wesley already out there on your screen. That man there is Kelton Lopez, coming out of Cabo Verde. And there we can see Clement Rosselló, also the Frenchman. Your three athletes already in the water as we continue on with the kite surf competition, heat number 2, round number 1. And let's not forget that the first 4 minutes of this heat is freestyle, pure freestyle maneuvers. And then in the last 8 minutes, it comes down to the waves. Wesley up and away, just a little bit of a board off. You can see a small rodeo there from Clement. As you can see, there are 3 riders in the athletes, so we are trying not to miss a single trick, but they are jumping very, very close together. All right. Front row, 1 foot, Kelton Lopez. And the smile, he's happy with that one. Already getting some numbers up on the board as we're just waiting for those scores to be dropped. All right, so at the moment, it looks like Kelton is going to be in the leads with that last maneuver. Clement, who put in a solid performance on the wing foiling, and some very nice surfing there from him. And as we can see, most of the riders are using the kickers on their way out. Up and over, going for the front roll, but just not quite getting the wind underneath his feet. Let's go over as it looks like Wesley Silva on his way out. But let's stay here with Kelton, as he's already got the speed and he's looking at a kicker. Up he goes, back roll, board off, landed. Oh, just going under. Missing the landing there on that one for him. So it is Kelton in the lead with a 3.63. All right, and we're back. So 9.5 minutes left of this heat. Let's not forget, as we get to that 8-minute mark, it all gets switched up and we go over to surf and we go over to waves. As here we have front roll. Oy, just missing out there from Wesley Silva. And Kelton going into second position. And now he's going to try and see if he can get a wave here. Coming out of Cape Verde, living over in Portugal. Oh, nice little kicker. Good kicker coming his way. Let's see what he has. Back loop, keeps it. Can he get the landing on this one? Yes, he does. Back roll with a board off Clement. Back roll, board off Rodeo, unfortunately going down. And Wesley Silva just going across the top of that last wave. And it looks like he's going to be turning around. 30 seconds for them to perform their maneuvers. All right, Kelton up and over, going for the flip, but not getting the landing. As so far, we are still waiting for a couple of scores to drop, and we can see just quite a forced landing there from him. And Clement in the final, it looks like he's got a kicker. Is he going to be able to get over it? Yes, he does. Front roll over the other way. A good move there from Clement, so that will put another score up on his cards. And now, as that 8-minute mark is there, that means that now it's time to go into the waves and start with the surf. So let's see who is going to be the first man to turn around and grab in and start to hack some turns across the competition site. On your screen, Kelton Lopez out of Cabo Verde, coming from the Cape Verde Islands, where some of the biggest names in this discipline have come out of. Mr. Mito Monteiro himself. We have Ayrton Cozzolino, Machu Lopez. Oh, and it looks like asking to see, because some of the athletes changed their boards as they were out there on the freestyle board, and then I think we're probably going to be seeing a swap of a board here with Kelton, as he's going to be moving it over to the freestyle, but there he has. Oh, we got dogs and all. We're still waiting for some of the athletes to get some surfing in, because let's not forget it is now the surfing part of this heat. There on your screen, Clément Rosseau. All right, so Clément dropping in on a wave. First wave of his heat. Let's see what he has for us. Looping the kite down. Here we have Wesley Silva. Let's see, the Brazilians always a very good surfers. Getting the verticality you can see there in that turn. One hit wonder. But making sure he hit it in the sweet spot. Now he's just going to ride this foam ball to the inside bank. Whereas it does get close to the shore, there is a possibility of getting one more turn. Good timing there on that one. Small little hack back to the power section. Well, at least some numbers on the board. At the moment, he is in that last position in this heat. As Clément is in first after having that 4.07 for his front roll. And there we can see also out the back, Kelton Lopez eyeing up a section. But here we have Clément dropping in. Going backside. Goofy rider out there. Managing to get a couple check turns in there, but he is going a little bit further down the line. Judges are going to want to see a bit more verticality to be having the high scores. And Kelton here also making some of the moves. Looking a little bit more nervous out there. Sometimes you got to get those kind of first heat competition nerves out the way until you start to flow, but loads of time, and Wesley has not realized yet that the freestyle part is over, and now it is time. It all comes down to the surfing. All right, Kelton backside in along, but going down after that section. Clément trying to look and see. At the moment, not a lot of bump out there. All right, nice. Going for a toe-side pot to Riva. Very nice, switching it out off the top. Clément, a very, very accomplished surfer. Seen some stuff on the ground from him from over in Bahia, which is one of the breaks over there in France. A very big wave on the outskirts, and you can see his surfing knowledge there. Currently in second, but moving it back up to first after that nice little trickaroo there into the wave. Still not a real set come through for any of these athletes, so we're still waiting for some waves to be coming their way. But at the moment, it is the Frenchman in first position. All right, Wesley Silva dropping in a first wave. Got one good turn on it. A little bit of foam ball cutting back. Trying to see if this one will actually, something will happen here all the way down to the shore. Let's not forget high tides. Very big tides out there at the moment. And it looks like we're going to have an equipment change with only 2.5 minutes to go. Gutsy move, gutsy move. Let's go back to the action out there. It looks like he was changing something on his chicken loop. Maybe he had it caught up. All right, Kelton Lopez is going to be dropping in. Trying to make something of this one, as it is very small. There's a better turn there, but leaving the kite behind him. And losing it there. He needs to try and find one of these set ways. Clément really reading it nicely. keeping himself low. You can just see he's pretty much always in control of his board. This is a second wave that he's kind of picked up off on. But you can see they're breaking in front of the wave. Judges are not going to be liking that. We want to see the athletes actually surfing the wave and using the kite to their advantage, not going, you know, kind of out on the flats, then breaking and going back into a turn. You can see the likes of Pedro Matos, James, and Sebastian, probably three of the best examples of that. We'll be coming up in round number 3. But at the moment, it looks like we have a battle out there for second so far. Big hack from Wesley. This could be an important moment for him. There you go, 2 decent hacks, linking them together. He needs a 4.27 and 3 decent hits on one of these little inside rollers for the regular footer. And here we can see the Goofy with the backside ride in here from Clement. At the moment in the lead, we're going to have to wait and see what the scores are going to be for that last wave there from Wesley, because it could potentially push him a little bit further up the leaderboard. Heat winner goes through to round number 3, and the 2nd and 3rd position have to go down to round number 2 to battle it out one more time and see if they can stay alive in the competition. 30 seconds. Wesley once again really reading these waves, Bower. This one's looking up nicely. Got a second turn, but just cutting himself late. They're not quite timing it probably how he wanted to. Clement getting the second wave of the set. As here we have the final seconds. There it is, there it is. Final seconds there of Clement. And another toe side air to revert. And letting the fins loose. So as it stands, it will be Clement in first position. And second position will be Wesley with third position for Carlton Lopez. But there are still some numbers to be dropped. As it all gets mixed up, there's nothing like the good old buzzer beater. So winning that heat by 0.47, Wesley Silva from Brazil, meaning that Clement Rosselló and Carlton Lopez are going to have to go down into round number 2 and battle it out to see who stays alive in the competition. While we're waiting for heat number 3 to hit the water, let's have a little look of the action of that previous heat. Heat number 2 of round number 1. And welcome back, everybody. There it is with the flag in the sky. And take a look at this man there. Let's not forget this young man winning. We've seen him in Tarifa, and a very talented rider, Gabriel Benetton. And a big freestyle, one of the best one we've got out there, starting it off with a double front roll, making it look too easy. Luca Gasperini coming out of Italy, also a very good strapless freestyle rider. Let's see what kind of moves he's going to be throwing down for us here. And Matt Maxwell, another heavy hitter. He's been on the tour for quite a while. He has got a little bit of an injury on one of his ankles, he was telling me this morning. But hopefully that won't be taking too much of a toll for him out there on the water. All right, here we have Luca. Okay, deciding against the kicker. And up and over, front roll, Rodeo, and clean landing. Good landing there for Luca Gasperini. Here we have Gabriel. Looks like he's trying to eye up a kicker. There he goes. 1, 2, a double front roll rotation, and a lot bigger than the one we saw before. Good move there from him. Gabriel Benetton coming second in the competition in Tarifa of the Qatar Airways Big Air World Championship. And already starting to try and push forward in this heat with a 7.00 for one of those double front rolls. Still 2 minutes to go. 1, 2. Oh, I know what he wants to try. He wants to try that double front roll with a show it. Luca Gasperini, 4.43. Up and over, front roll, Rodeo with a tic-tac, little bit of a butt check. All athletes starting to mix it up. Actually, all three of these athletes are very good freestylers. There it is, back roll tic-tac from Lucas. Calm, cool, and controlled. Let's have a look at Gabriel as he makes his way out. Deciding against it. Maxwell also looking along. There we can see Luca missing out on that one. Looks like Matt might be doing one here. No, okay. Decides to get it. We can see the replay of that last move. And going down with a crash. And let's also have a look at the replay of the move there from Matt that we cut in half, please, Mr. Cameraman. Gabriel definitely looking for something with that double front rotation. He's done it 3 or 4 times already. 23 seconds to go. Already has a 7.33, so a very good score there for the young Brazilian. The Vice Big Air World Strapless Champion crowned over there in Tarifa. Looking to get further up on the overall ranking as this will be his first year completing at most of the events. And now it's time for the waves, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter that second 8-minute section. As it stands, Gabriel in first, Matt in second, Luca Gasperini in third. Matt Maxwell coming out of South Africa. Looks like we had a little camera tweak there. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back. Eyes on Gabriel Benetton on the right-hand side. Let's change rider. All right, here we have Luca Gasperini dropping in backside. One hit wonder here on the middle. Not quite timing that one right to be able to get some decent turns on it. He is currently in third position. But let's not forget, no matter what, everybody still has a life out there, because the bottom two will be making their way through to round number 2. And then the winner will be making his way all the way across to round number 1. All right, on the left-hand side, Matt Maxwell. Left-hand side cameras. Let's have a look. Dropping in on the wave. There he is. Already up and over. Nice hack there for the South African. Completes his way along, trying to get a second section. 2 decent hacks there from him. He is currently in first position, as he already has got 2 wave scores at a 3.03. And now he's looking for a second. And 4.37. So Matt setting down a hammer. We can see Luca out there, even got the old watch on the biceps, so he knows exactly what's going on. Okay, Gabriel. Let's see how this young man is in the waves. We know he's a very good freestyler. But on the surfing side, I have yet to see him, as he is currently in second position. Luca starting to gain some ground, as we're just coming up on 5 minutes left of this heat. 12-minute heats, 3-minute transitions. All right, looks like Matt was having a little look-see, but going to go against that one. And here we can see Luca also. Okay, looking like he's got a little bit of a wave in front of him. As he can start to drop in on this one, you can see him already looking it up. Switches the feet, as he is a goofy rider. And he's going to engage on this wave right in front of the competition area. Decent hack off of that one, leaving the kite a little bit too high. Having to foam ride his way out. And that's going to be the end of the wave, just with a little finisher there for Luca. Let's have a look out the back, as it looks like nice big face open turn there for Gabriel Benetton as he moves down the line. This is better. This is looking better for the Brazilian. Mid-face hack there, not going all the way to the top. Just getting a little bit late on that one. Gabriel Benetton, your current leader, and now with that second wave score, he's definitely going to go up the cards. But this man here, Matt Maxwell, trying to drive through. Looking to improve on that 3.03. So close in between those two guys. But Gabriel is now going to have yet another wave. And he is probably going to go comfortably into first position of this heat. And gain a little bit of a lead out there. We're just waiting for scores of that last wave from Gabriel. And looks like they're going to come in. There it is, 5.53. Oh, this is looking like a nice wave. Let's have a look. Starts to engage up all the way up the top. Decent timing there. Mid-face hack. Engages, keeps that rail. Foam ride. This is where it starts to open up again. Being able to get another turning off the top, letting that tail loose. Adding the toe side to revert. Nice little revert 360 there. All right, Matt. Open face hack. Timing it very nicely for that finisher. Pushing, driving through the fins. And Gasparini also in on amongst the set. One wave for each one of the athletes. And you can see they're just unfortunately getting a little bit off balance. But yeah, nice set of waves, nice set of rides there for our athletes here in this heat number 3 of round number 1. Gabriel Benetton, Matt Maxwell, Luca Gasparini. All right, Luca going for a very inside wave here. No, deciding against it. He knows he needs to get some moves if he wants to have a possibility of taking on Gabriel Benetton. Matt Maxwell improving his speed a little bit. This is looking like a nice set wave. He's already starting to look at it. Gabriel up and over. Nice hack, letting that tail loose at the top. The judges are going to be liking this one. Having to go down the line quite a bit. And can we get a finish here? Yes, he does. Vertical all the way over. Gabriel Benetton looking to improve on a 5.53 backup score, but comfortably in the lead so far. Gasparini and Maxwell trying to battle it out. Maxwell here. All right, he does have a nice wave. Not as big as he probably wanted to. Hack, check back turn. Dropping in, going too far away as he knows that is not going to be the wave that he wanted and not going to be the wave that he needed. Getting in second position. Gasparini needs a 5.97. If he wants to take it, he's in on this wave, so this one will count. Let's see what the Italian has for us. This wave will count for Gasparini, but it is completely flattened out. So that's going to be it. That's going to be it. First position, Gabriel Benetton, 20.33. Matt Maxwell, 14.80. And Luca Gasparini, 9.10. Let's take a little look at the highlights of some action from heat number 3, round number 1. And welcome back, everybody. So out there in the water, we have Everton Martins, Leonardo Granedo, and Gray Foster. There we can see Gray starting off with a front roll here just on the inside. And here we can see the Brazilians also starting to pull it up as he goes up and around. Let's have a look on the front. There we can see, let's change over to the rider next to the beach. It looks like cameramen are out there with two of the riders, and we're missing one who is all the way over. All right, getting some hang time there. All right, Gray looks like he's getting up and over. Up he goes, going for the front show. It lands it clean. Good move there from Gray Foster. Oh, Leonardo up and over. And here we have Everton up into the sky, the two Brazilians. But it is Gray out there with that front Shovit already dropping down the hammer early on in this heat. Gray being on a few of our events coming out of the US of A. And already great to see him getting that landed move. Very nice. And going for, if I'm not mistaken, what looked like a back roll board off flip there from him. All right, here we have Leonardo. He's got the up. He's got it over. No, missing out on the board there. So still he has a 4.13. But this man, Everton Martins, needs to get a freestyle move if he wants to have a chance of trying to get some up and over. All right. Kite loop. But oh! Going down into the water. Gray looking like he's trying to eye up a kick. He's got a good one behind. Are we going to see him launch off of this one? It obviously not. So at the moment it is Gray in first position. Leonardo Granjeiro in second. And Leonardo, the Elevate rider, has been impressing us with his surfing all the afternoon. Yesterday afternoon he was throwing down out there on the water, as there's 30 seconds to go until it is going to be all about the waves. So now going to be interesting to see if they're actually going to start surfing or they're going to start waiting. Gray looks like he's going to try and start to get a little used to the wave, get a little loose, as this is not going to count as a surf. But nice flow throughout the sections here from the American. Mid-face turn there, but there it is. All right, so that means now is when the surfing starts. And this man, I tell you what, this guy can surf. Look how he crouches down. This is what he's up about. A little bit of a foam ride here. Keeps looking like a samurai warrior out there with all that sunscreen on his face. Already starting to get a few hacks. Up and over. Oh, stylish. Air to revert off of the top. Very nice revert for him. Great surfing. Leonardo with a 5+ about to come his way. There it is, 5.4, putting him into first position. The Brazilians, they just surf so well. All right, Gray, up and over. First turn, back to the whitewater. Trying to push the board around. There it is, nice open hack, good flow throughout. Managing to loop the kite as well to keep that speed. Little bit of a fumble midway, but still he has a very solid freestyle move on his scorecards. And now he can start to mix it up with the waves. 3.10 in second position. And here we have Everton Martins. Let's see how this young man starts to do out there on the water. As this is going to be the last heat here of round number 1. Boom. Look at it. Just keeps the speed. You can see he doesn't let go of the speed at all. Keeps pushing it here. Bim. Connecting with that little closeout section. Good riding there from the Brazilian. All right. Let's see. Martins, open face, carving hack and letting go of the bar, pure surfing style. Off the top, but going down and getting caught around there. As it stands, Gray definitely still fighting. But Leonardo Grangeiro coming out of Paracuru, the Elevate rider, pushing everybody out so far with some very nice wave riding as we continue on. So let's not forget, coming up next is going to be round 2, heat number 1. Out on the water, it was going between Kelton Lopez and Jairo Neto. All right, so Gray, big open face hack here. This is looking like a very nice wave for him. Already starting to make his way all the way down. As that tide starts to come in, it is quite hard to navigate your way through the sections, and the judges were saying the guys that can do that with flow, they would know. It looks like he's asking on the beach to see where he's at, as at the moment he needs to increase by a 4.73 if he wants to take the lead, because Leonardo Grangeiro has been putting in the work and pushing out on some of those better wave scores. 2 minutes left for this final heat of round number 1, and then it is going back over to round number 2, which means that only 2 men on the water, and that means that we will be able to interview the winners and also all the action is going to be at once. So they're going to be able to freestyle, they're going to be able to wave ride however they want to. So that is looking action coming our way in the heat in round number 2, and the first heat on the water is going to be in between Carlton Lopez and Jairo Neto, the Brazilian. So already starting. Let's not forget, whoever loses in that round is going to be having a one-way ticket and packing their bags home. Oh, just losing his legs on that one. All right, here we have him. Your current heat leader, Leonardo Guerrero. Get the face of concentration on that athlete. Like I said it before, he looks like a samurai warrior with all that white sunscreen on. It looks like war paint out there. If I was him, I would have stuck a couple of, things on his face to be able to kind of like Maori style, get the old scare going in, the old psychological tactics out there on the water. All right, Gray Foster needs to start to make something big if he wants to be able to have a possibility of taking the win on this heat. Mid-face turn, not making it all the way up. Linking this one up a little bit better off the top, but just not quite able to get the turns that he wanted. And you can see on his face that he knows that is not going to be enough. 20 seconds. All right, final ride. We can see Leonardo here. We can see Everton Martins also pushing and making his way forward. Boom! Big like in the floater off the top of that one. And letting the tail loose off the end here. And this wave is also going to count. So I reckon there could be some mix-ups and some old switcheroo of the positions. But we will have to see. As at the moment, the winner will be making their way through to round number 1. And all the way through to round number 3. And then the bottom 2 will be making their way into round number 2, as it's not elimination ladders out there yet. So let's see how that stands out. Okay, so yep, that is official. Leonardo Guerrero is your winner, making it through to round number 3. And Gray Foster and Everton Martins are going to have to battle it out in round number 2. Let's have a little look at the highlights from that last heat. And we're back, as we can see, Kelton Lopez, Jairo Neto, because the winner is going to be making his way out on a one-way ticket to round number 3. Big back roll. Tic-tac there from Kelton to start it off. And here we can see Jairo Neto. As this is a two-man heat, what that means is that they can do both freestyle moves and waves wherever they want. And Neto just managing to keep himself together on that one.
Okay, so here we go. Round 2, heat number 1 is currently underway. Kelton Lopez currently sitting in first position with a 4.47. So a little bit of time left on the clock. Two-man heats here. You can see Neto there getting a little bit of height, but just losing his board. And here we have on your screens Lopez, who looks to maybe potentially have switched something up, but as he heads back past the shore break now, he's sitting in a good position with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Will he line up and make use of this kicker? No, decides against it. So we'll follow him as he makes his way out to sea. Unfortunately, going down there as full focus goes back onto Neto, who's just chasing. These are 1.58 to take the lead, going up into the sky and landing that one comfortably there. So that will definitely score, be a scoreboard that the judges will surely appreciate. And now both riders, I can see out the corner of my eye, riding in. And Neto on your screens here might nip first place with that last manoeuvre. And you can see there the flags blowing nicely. I've just come up into the booth just to take over from Joe just for a quick heat. And it sure is windy out there. We've probably got a good solid 20 knots. So I can see that our riders currently in this heat are sort of on their 9 meters. So pretty loaded, full power as you can see here. Neto looking pretty powered up as he makes his way out. Tacking around nicely. And there we have both athletes you can see on your screens. Looks like Kelton Lopez might have switched up his board when he came in just a few seconds ago. And still the scores Not much change there. Kelton Lopez on a 4.60. Neto on 3.33. So no real change just yet. Still plenty up for grabs, but 6.5 minutes coming up towards on the clock. And as Joe previously did mention, the tide is starting to get a little bit higher now, so it will start to become a little bit more challenging for our riders. But this is the World Tour, and we like to throw everything their way. And here, Lopez making use of a little wave, getting a slight bit of air as he cuts back onto the wave. There's that first turn. Would like to get a little bit higher. Let's see if this wave can form out and be a little bit nicer to him. Sort of straight lining this section here, but didn't quite form like he would have wanted, and you can see the sort of frustration in his face there, biting his teeth together. And Neto here looks to have a slightly better wave, puts in quite a nice first turn, dropping low, just getting caught up in a little bit of foam there. Challenging waves for our riders out there at the moment. Our previous wave stop was over in Morocco, Dahla, where we were treated to probably some of the best conditions we've had for sure, where our riders were able to go full send, and we saw James Carew take the Titan out there. So very different scenario out here in regards to the competition and the scenarios that will get faced their way. The conditions are very much different. You can see there Lopez going down in the shore break, and a couple more scores now, and Neto just slipping into first. So a 3.33 and a 2.87. You can see there Kelton Lopez does have the biggest score overall with a 4.6, but his second one is a 1.57. So chasing, and it's super, super tight. Just under 5 minutes left to go. So let's see if we'll see any more switch up as this heat goes on. Neto here, nice little carving turn. Let's see if we can get past this foam ball. Closing out on him. Is it going to form? Because right here on this spot we do have sandbanks that do make the waves peak up and pop up again. And only managing to get a couple of turns, and Lopez here on your screen now making use of a wave at the back, but going down, catching an edge. A lot of change, equipment change going on. You can see a lot of our riders coming in, changing boards, maybe dropping a kite size or two. The wind, it definitely is picking up. And here you can see Neto just running out to get back up winds. Would rather come in, run back up the beach. And now here he is on your screens. Couple more scores now, and Neto just getting a little bit further away from Lopez with a 9.97. Nice shot there, a little bit zoomed out. You can see it's a little bit bumpy, it's a little bit choppy out there. Maybe not as clean as what these riders would have hoped for, but there's still plenty of waves out there to be surfed. And you can see Kelton going, switching up. Gets a little air, likes to start the wave off like that, riding through the foam ball. And just timing that turn there. You can see he's very frustrated on the face. And Neto is sort of nice and comfortable out there. Some good scores on the board, just under 3 minutes left. Really having to work the kite to get every turn possible on that wave. Nice little highlight here, getting quite nice and low, getting to the top of the wave there. Yanks his hands down on the bar, sending that kite back down into the window. That was a much nicer turn. Second turn there on the wave. And manages to get the third here just before that wave closes in and out of him. And rides away nicely. And we can see that wave there has increased on Neto's score. He's now up to 10.83. So Kelton Lopez has some chasing to do as we enter the final 2 minutes of this heat. And here he is on your screens now. Looking over his left, looking over his right shoulder, trying to see what there is for him. Doesn't like what he sees though. But out the back there, Neto looks to have got a better wave. Let's see what he can do on this one. That's a better turn. That's what he was hoping for there. Get a nice low carving action. Let's see if we can get a second one. There we go. You see the spray of the water coming off the top of the wave. That's exactly what he's looking for. Kelton Lopez here sort of straight lining it. Can't quite find what he's after. Definitely frustrated, as you'll see here on his face when he finishes this wave. Riding backside here. The Matthew Lopez style, who will be on your screens this week competing. He's got his hopes of getting a title, because it's anyone's game out here for this event. We only have one event in Dahla, so plenty on the line for our riders. They've been here for quite a while now, training in Taiba. Last week we had the wing foiling action here, and there he is on your screens, Matthew Lopez, giving some friendly advice to Kelton on the beach. But there's not long left, only 30 seconds, so he's probably got to go back out. You can see he's not very happy or slightly frustrated. But it's looking like Neto is in a good position. It's close, but not close enough. And I can see, if I look out my window, Kelton Lopez isn't actually going to be going back out on the water. So it's looking like Neto here is going to be going through. Good performance, making use of tricky conditions out there. So there it is, Neto going through into the next round. And right now it's time to just have a little look back on that heat and see the highlights from the last few minutes.
Okay, I'm down here with the winner of the last heat with Jairo. Jairo, nice to meet you. It's your first event here with us. Tell us a little bit about how your heat went.
Oh, the wind is so strong. Start the heat with a good trick, in the strapless, and after the wings pumping so much, and I have a biggest kite for this heat, but I'm so stoked to pass in first.
Can you tell us where you're from, Jairo, where you train regularly?
Yeah, this is my first time competing in GKA. I don't have words to explain what I'm feeling right now. I just have a good hit in the next.
Thank you so much. Good luck for your next round, and hopefully we'll see you again back here. Thanks a lot. Back to the guys.
Thank you, Gemma. Congratulations out there. And that young man making his way through and staying in the competition, Jairo Neto. as he has made it through to round number 3. And now we have out here on the water Keanu Merton versus Clement Rosselló already going through. All right, Clement starting to come in. Already getting a couple of decent hacks. Let's not forget, as it is there are 2 riders out there in the water. Means that it is 12 minutes of whatever action they decide to go for. Clement starting off with a double back row rodeo, getting a 4.20, but then also we've seen one out there from Keanu Mertens. And let's have a little look and see what the other rider is up to, guys. As we can see, Clement is only making his way up. Alright, so Clement looking around, and he looks like he's going to decide to go in on this little inside section. Alright, good pushed out backside hack there from him. One hit wonder, but really releasing the tail on that one. Liking what I see there from Clement. Keanu also blowing those cheeks out as he's starting to yank that kite around, up and over, a little bit of a foam climb. Looks like he's getting better here on this one. Second section, going back, trying to get back to the other side, and linking it together. Not as much control, not as much flow throughout the turns, but it does look like Keanu is starting to get the flow together. But Clement Rosselló there already with a couple of decent scores, sits in the lead so far. Let's have a look one more time. All right, big open face hack, keeps the speed. This is where he goes down. You can see making sure that kite is looping so he can get the yank at the end, up over the top. And nice timing there from the Frenchman for that finisher. Only, a couple of smacks on that wave, but still able to link a few maneuvers together, and he's looking to improve on a 1.77, which I reckon he is definitely going to be doing that. So it looks like he is going to increase his lead. Yep, there it is, 10.80. And Keanu also getting closer and closer. Keanu making his way back and turning in. Also, are we going to be seeing a freestyle move? He's already got a pretty good one with 6.60. So I reckon it is going to be coming down to the waves out there on the water. All right, Keanu deciding against it. Airing in. If he can get a couple of turns on this, they'll like what the judges will like what they see. That's a better turn there from the young Spaniard. Airs into this wave. Can he keep it together here? Second turn, a little wobbly. Can he make a third one? Just doesn't get the fluidity on that bottom turn. He always is kind of bouncing out. Maybe he needs to be on a slightly bigger board, and we can see Clement out there on the regular surf shape. That's the WAM, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at the colors, that's going to be the D-Lab Lounge from Duotone. Both Duotone riders out there, and we can see also Keanu is out there on the whip. So at the moment, it looks like on the surfing side, Clement has just a little bit of an upper hand. All right, Clement one more time. He is now in seconds because Keanu has got that second wave score, and he hasn't increased. He's got a 2-point lead on the freestyle score, so Clement either has to try and go for a bigger freestyle move. He's got to up his wave game. Pushing him out. Look, just drives through those fins. Really does have the flow. And you can see the surfing background there for him. All right, Mertens on his way out. Clement, let's have a look on the inside. Looks like he was going for something up and over front row. Oh! Losing it at the final moment there. Looked like it was going to be a big one, but just not able to get it together. All right, Keanu off the top, also letting that tail, pushing it out a little bit too hard and not being able to get the landing. So that's a crash for both of these guys. Very close in between them so far. Pretty much only a 1.13 of a point difference. And Clement now knows he's going to be going for a freestyle move to start to improve his scores, I think. All right, taking off his watch. And there we can see teammate Machu Lopez helping out on the water. Oh, the nerves there you can see. Sometimes it's better just to take a 1-second breather to then get back into sync. Okay, let's have a look at Clement as he looks like he's going to be going for another ride. So let's have a look. As there is a decent wave coming at him. Is he going to be using this for a kicker? Doesn't look like he is, but here we can see Keanu. Good first turn, but not quite getting the kite and losing the speed. Turning it into a foam ride and going down. Just not getting the timing out there at the moment there, Keanu. So that is going to be a crash for him. And here we have Clement. Just under 5 minutes left of this heat. Round number 2, heat number 2. The idea is to get through 2 rounds of competition on the surf strapless. And then we will be moving it over to the hydrofoil freestyle. That was a better turn there from Keanu. Had some anger there in that one. Still is getting pulled by that kite just a little bit too much. Let's see, this one's linking up nicely. Can it get over? Gets the air, but going down. Keanu Mertens, 4 minutes to go. All right, Clement here. That is a better wave. Looking like it's actually got some size. Managing to get a few turns. This is kind of what he was looking for. He wants to increase on that 3.0. And as he makes his way out, he also wants to increase on that freestyle score because Keanu at the moment is certainly in the lead. Even though he is further down the competition area, 3 minutes left. I wonder if we're going to see him tack up or is he going to continue surfing down on the left-hand side. Looking at his watch, knowing where he is. 12.67 as Clement has just overtaken him there with that last surf wave. Oh, and Keanu, just landing on the backside of that wave. Going for a good move. And here we have Clement going over the top of his board there with that one. Even though he has made his way through into first position at the moment with 2.5 minutes left on the ticker. Keanu definitely deciding to use the waves all the way down there on the left-hand side of the competition area. He's wanting to improve on a 2.73 and a 2.60. But just is not being able to link the turns up. Still time to go. Here we have Clement dropping in. You can see drives through those fins. Quite a little high there. starting to break it up, making sure that he can get when that wave peaks. Decent backside hack there. This is going to be the finisher. Let's see what he has. Oh, but getting munched and thrown in to the washing machine. That is the bottom section of this Taiba location. The season finale here of the Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour. Last minutes, and it is at the moment, it is Clement Rosselló is in first position. Keanu Martins needs to either increase on that 660 or to increase on one of his waves. Clement is winning by 0.74 of a point. Clement looking for something out there. I can see Keanu also as we close in the final seconds. But it is gonna be it. That is gonna be all. As we're just waiting for this final wave score. Keanu, will he be able to pull it off on the buzzer? We will soon find out as he's trying to make his way all the way down. Can he get the finisher? But going off the back of that wave, I very much doubt that is going to be enough. We will soon have to find out. Needing a 3.34 if he wants to overtake Clement. And no, that is not going to be enough. That is not going to be enough. So unfortunately for Keanu, that is going to be it with him. And we are going to be seeing Clement Rosselló making his way through to round number 3. Great riding there from him.
Okay, guys, down here at Clement, another week, another discipline for you. You're non-stop changing, switching sports. How was your heat today? You look a little bit frustrated. I think you didn't find what you were looking for out there, but you're still advancing through. What do you think?
I think it was super hard to find the wave. I don't know how to make freestyle, and I know that the kids I was with, in front of, was making a big tricks after like 30 seconds. So I was like, okay, I have to push on the wave, and I didn't find the good wave. I had Mathieu on the shore telling me that I have to push more, and I was like, man, I cannot push more. I don't know how to push more in this type of condition, but it's cool that I advance one next hit.
And how do you feel about the conditions today compared to what you were competing in last week?
The conditions are more tricky, but I think the conditions are better for kiting. Last week was super good for winging. Hopefully we didn't get that condition for winging because it was super bad to wing on this type of condition.
Clement, thank you so much. I'll let you get back. Good luck. See you to the next round. Thank you. Back to Joe.
And we are back. Everton Martins, Matt Maxwell. Now this is going to be a battle heat in between these two because we saw some very nice surfing from both of them. Maxwell has a little bit of the upper hand on the freestyle side as well. But it was very close in the previous heat where they both competed. Let's see what is going to be happening. Let's see who is going to be staying in the competition and who is going to be having a one-way ticket home. All right, going for the back roll with the flip and lands nice and easy there for Matt Maxwell. Has a little injury on his feet, and you can see when he lands, he crunches his teeth, looking like he's in a little bit of a pain there. But good freestyle move on the scorecards. He's going to be happy with that one. Coming down with speed, Martins. But just not quite getting the landing there. And a 5.03 for there. Okay, it looks like we're going to see a freestyle move here on the inside. Up and over, back roll with a tic-tac and going over and under. Matt, already a good move, 5.03. And let's not forget, 12 minutes of competition. What we're looking for on the surfing is the flow, connecting, linking those maneuvers, not using the kite, really being able to surf these waves. All right, back roll, tic-tac, going down heavy, Martins. And then when it comes to maneuvers, it is the execution is what judges are looking for. It doesn't matter how simple the move is, if it is executed with ease, with control, and with style, they are going to get the extra points, the extra shackers and the kudos from our judges. 12-minute heats, 12 minutes of action. And here we have the South African, Matt Maxwell, going up. Bad is better. Shifting it out and getting the tic-tac with the flip. I like how he does initiates that tic-tac as well, because it almost is a varial, because he's pretty much doing it there with his back foot. And now it looks like he's going to be coming in and changing up, as he's already knows he's got two decent freestyle moves out there. And it will be time to start to get and surf the groove and get the waves. So yeah, a little bit of a switch up there for him. And his good friend Nikola Alavjiev helping him out, as it looks like he's putting a smaller size out there, 8 meters. So as we stand, Matt Maxwell in first position with just under 9 minutes to go on the old clock. All right, so switched it up, got the old 8 meter out, and it looks like now it's going to be some surfing dropping in. Matt. Nice big open face carving hack, makes his way up, keeping the speed all the way down the line. Linking 3 decent maneuvers together on this little inside whitewash. So that's going to be his first wave for him. And now let's have a look at Martins, as it also looks like he is going to be lining up a set wave. Looking back at it, I reckon we might have him engaging in some of these lines that are making their way towards the competition area. The top 2 waves and 1 freestyle move is the name of the game. That is what we'll be counting. And this man has a lot of flow. I really like how he just keeps the speed all the way. You can see, oh, letting the fins and tail loose. Let's see if we can get a replay of that last move. As we can see Matt Maxwell, oh, going down. So I wonder Mr. Director, can we get a replay of that last move? And Matt here, just unfortunately losing his board and making his way, grabbing it back. As now the turns have changed. Pretty much opposite scores. You can see on the waves, Martins has an upper hand. But look at this last hack. Off fins all the way out. Laid back, pushing, driving through a little nice one-hit wonder. And getting the grace and getting the scores with that 5.70. So great move there for the Brazilian. And now let's have a look as he's going to be looking for some more. Off again, even looking behind to see. He always touches the line, this guy. You can see, making sure that kite is in the sweet spot, making sure he can start to get some of the turns. All right, here we have inside section. Big hack off the top, letting that tail loose. And Everton's is going to start to produce some good wave scores. Matt also trying to look around. You can see him starting to get a bit frustrated as there are waves are very far and few between. Matt Maxwell coming down. And again, losing that one. All right, Matt already up top at 11.76. You can see the smile on his face. He's trying to get it, waiting for it. Big move off the cards. Just losing his foot there on that one. But still 11.70 for him as he has two decent waves. And Martins here is going to have to get a freestyle move because he has already got two wave scores. If he wants to get past that, he's got to mix it up with the freestyle as well, which is pretty much what he hasn't done so far. This is looking like a better wave and going down there on that one, unfortunately. As you can see him stumbling, scuttling, he is starting to get a little bit nervous out there. All right, so Matt up and top. Oh, rounding it around, starting to get a little bit more of a push, and the look on his face, the boy seems angry. Looks like he's found his rhythm and pushing through at the moment. And this man, this is looking like a nice wave. He's already got, he wants to improve on one wave score, and then he wants to go for some freestyle moves. He wants to have the possibility of getting past Matt. No hand, open face, pure surfing style there from the Brazilian. But you can see he is starting to get a little bit nervous as he knows he is very close. But it is the South African who is in the driving seat so far. And I reckon Matt is going to be increasing on one of his wave. There it is, 4.50, just about to appear. So already South Africa making even more distance. He is definitely going to be happy out there with that one. There we have our current heat leader on your screen for this heat number 3, round number 2. So the idea today at the moment is they are going to continue through to round number 3, halfway through. And then it's going to be stopped and we're going to change over to the Hydrofoil-Freestyle as the tide really does play an important point out there. All right, Matt, back, roundhousing it, pushing his way as far as possible. Again, a little bit of a foam hack, back to the whitewater. Here, this is where you kind of get that finale. Times it nicely, up and over. Yeah, he is happy and liking what he's getting there. All right, so Everton Mattins. This wave is looking very nice. Big open face hack. All right, making his way back. And a freestyle move, not getting it. 6 seconds to go. As there it is, that is the red flag. Meaning that even if he lands that one, it is not going to count. So that's it, that's all. Making his way through to round number 3. Put your hands together from South Africa, Matt Maxwell. Before we get him down there on the beach to see what the conditions are like and how he's feeling, we're going to go to some of the highlights of that previous heat. And that was some of the best moves we saw of the last heat, where we saw some great riding from both of these athletes, but making his way through to the next round. And down there with Gemma, we have Matt Maxwell.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks a lot. So I'm down here with Matt. Matt, you're advancing through another round. It was a tricky heat I think you had there. It was pretty difficult to find what you were looking for, but you managed to advance. Tell me a little bit about how it went for you.
Yeah, I mean, I hurt myself in the lagoon on training on Saturday, and I've been really struggling with my ankles. I kind of like buckled them, so I was super nervous to compete. My first heat was terrible, like really bad. And now I finally managed to get some freestyle down, so it took the pressure off for the waves, but then I saw the Brazilian guy was really ripping and really put the pressure on. Yeah, it was a tricky heat, and I'm really happy to go through.
You look surprised when I told you were advancing.
Yeah, I think it was super close right down to the last minute, so I was but we were in prayer, and now we came down to Taiba to get used to the conditions, because yeah, it's super different to home and it's a really difficult wave to ride.
Well, thanks a lot, Matt, for joining us. Good luck, and hopefully we'll see you back here after the next round. Thanks a lot. Back to Joe.
Thank you, Gemma. Congratulations, man. Now it is back on the water as we have here the final heat of round number 2, which is in between Luca Gasparini and Gray Foster, who we can see there just rocking off a front row. Both of these guys, very strong strapless freestylers, and we've seen some nice surfing here from the American. And who is going to be making it through to that round 3, and whoever doesn't will be having a one-way ticket home. All right, Gray up and over, going for the front shove it. Nicely landed there. Picture perfect. Luca just losing the board from in between his legs on that one. Gray, one more time. That's 2 for 2. Up and over, flicks it around, makes it just twirling, getting a beautiful landing there. Front shove it for the freestyle move. And Gray looking like he wants to go bigger and better, going for the double. Just not being able to get the wrap around there on that one. All right, Luca got a good wave here, up and over, but once again, not quite getting the board. Having a little bit of trouble linking them together so far, but there's loads of time. Let's not forget 12 minutes, only 2 athletes in the water, so they can grab the waves, they can take the freestyle and have the groove, no matter how long they need, as they do not have to have one section for waves, one section for freestyle. Back roll, tic-tac, oh... I understood some of those words. He is not a happy Vegemite out there at the moment. Luca Gasparini starting to try and look for some bigger moves, as he would have to beat on the freestyle side a 6.23. Okay, front row, Rodeo, cleanly landed. Gray adding up and linking another turn. Good hack off the top. Nice timing there for the American. And just foam riding this one all the way down. But he's already putting himself in a very comfortable position so far, as we are under 8 minutes. And there we can see him switching it up and moving it over. It looks like Luca has gone for a smaller kite, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going to start... No, actually, I think that's a bigger kite. And he's going to start to get together. He has forgotten to put his leash on, though. I will say that. So hopefully he'll realize that by the time he gets back onto his board. Let's see when he turns around if he realizes his leash is not connected. All right, so Gray Foster dropping in one more time. Got a considerable lead at the moment. And already a big 4.0 there for the front row Rodeo from Gasparini. Good wave back and making it roundhouse and cutting it away. Trying to push himself against the wind. Good timing here for Gray. This is looking like a very nice wave for him. Looking to try and improve on a 3.83. And riding it all the way down across the competition area. I don't think it's going to be a huge score, but I definitely reckon it's going to be improving on one of his scores so far. And having a look at the numbers coming up from the judges, it does look so. Luca, backside, it is very hard to ride these waves backside. If you have to link it up, especially when it's messy up there, you can see the kite kind of always sticking behind him. Going to have to try and get a groove on as we are just over 5 minutes to go with this heat. All right, Luca powering his way towards the competition area. Coming back at us, you can see face of determination. He knows he has to up every single score he has out there so far. Loads of time to do it. 5 minutes, just a little under half the time already gone out. So, you know, sometimes you just got to get in your groove and then it's continue on. And now let's see if he can get, he's a very talented strapless freestyle athlete. Let's see if he can get a good... All right, going for double front roll, but missing it out there. Great. Look how he's puffing the wind out of his cheeks as he wants to get that move. And Luca scrambling for any inside roller that he can. And definitely just going for any wave that he can get his hands on. As here he's seen an possibility, he's seen an option. And going for this one. Looping the kite around, whipping it. It's going very straight down the line, though. Judges are not going to be scoring that one high. Gray putting in the work early and applying the pressure from the early stages of this heat. Ah, nice little air there from Gray Foster. And Luca really taking some of these smaller waves, trying to find a decent surf, but needs to up his points by 6.72. So he's going to be looking to improve on his waves, and I reckon he's also going to be looking to improve on his freestyle maneuver. And we can see over there Gray putting his hands up, knowing he is in control out there. And I can see Harry O'Connor over there sending the love to the American rider, who is putting on a very consistent performance here from us. 14.49 so far for Gray. One of the top scores of the day, 14. We've seen Gabriel getting a 20.33, the highest score of the day so far. But Gray right up there with probably the second biggest score overall. And now Luca, I can see him looking back. As I reckon he's trying to eye up a kicker, but going down. Oh, just missing out on that double front roll. Let's get a replay of that one as he just lost the foot. You can see, aims the board right into the wind, pushes it around, sweeps it. Spots his landing just the foot slid a little bit too far forward, meaning that him going off balance. And there we can see the Taiba coastline as we continue on. All right, Luca, all the way down. Oh, losing the fins. Losing the fins. And Gray making sure he's in first place. All right, looks like we're going to have a surf for his final moves. Pushing, opening those shoulders. He's taking a look down. I reckon he's looking at the clock. But a nice open face turn there from Gray. Let's not forget they have 15 wave attempts. And Luca closing 10 seconds. Unfortunately for him, that is going to be it, as he is not going to be able to produce the goods to continue on, meaning that the winner here of the final heat of round number 2, making his way to round number 3, surfing it on in a little victory lap, Gray Foster from the United States of America. Let's take a look at the highlights of that last heat.
All right, great to see you here. You're advancing through round 2 there. How did the heat go for you?
The heat went really well. I had in my mind just land front shove it, and so I landed that first try, and then I wanted to get a double front roll just to give myself a few extra points, but it didn't end up happening, but still felt good. And then I tried to focus on waves for the rest of the heat. But overall, I'm happy with my performance.
How does it feel to be here in Taiba, Brazil for this final event of the 2022 season?
It's great. Like, one of the best places in the world to kiteboard, for sure. Just wind every day, any conditions you want, flat water, waves, anything. It's really great. I'm really thankful that the GKA had their last stop here.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Greg. Good luck for your next round, and we hope to see you again back here. Thanks a lot. Back to the guys.
Thank you, Gemma. Congratulations, Gray. Looking very focused out there on the water as we continue on, as we go back to 3-man heats. Artur Moraes, Anderson Rebosas, and Francesco Capuzzo, meaning that once again we will go to the first 4 minutes of the heat will be maneuvers, and then the last 8 minutes of the heat will be waves. So let's go. As we are now going to have another round where we won't have the interviews, as we will have all 3 cameras on our riders. And Francesco Capuzzo, back row tic-tac rodeo, landing down. There we can see Artur Moraes jumping up and around. And now let's have a look. Anderson Rebosas going up, back row Tic-tac, nicely landed there for him. Okay, going for a little shove it there on the inside. Not quite sure how he managed to pull that one off, but good landing there from Artur Moraes. And it is, you can see there's jumps left, right, and center as we continue on. So Francesco Capuzzo in the driving seat so far with that 4.80 as they're just coming up. Anderson going for the kite loop, board off, nicely landed. Little low, calm, cool and collected, just making sure he gets the numbers out. Just gets those numbers up on the scorecards. And here we have Francesco. Looks like he's eyeing up a nice kicker. What's he got for us? Up and over, kite loop, pushes it out. Yes, not quite getting the board on there. And a nice 360 shove it there from Rice. Francesco, just waiting to see that kite loop board off from Anderson Rabosa's 4.73. Francesco in the lead so far. Let's not forget Francesco is a backside rider here, which is a little bit harder when it comes to these light wind conditions. So he's going to probably want to improve on that freestyle score just to give him a little bit of an edge. 1.5 minutes to go. Oh, nice kicker here for the Italian. Up and over. Loops it, pushes it out. And just not able to get the height. You can see he's not getting the height that he needs. Rabosas, calm, cool and collected, just cruising and perusing through the competition area, racking up some of the points. This is going to be a very close hit in between all of these athletes. As the final 50 seconds. Oh, Francesco! Going down and haven't said a little buongiorno to the mermaids there, Francesco Capuzzo. 180 shove it here from Moraes. All right, so now it is back to the waves as it is the final 8 minutes of this heat. Yet the blue flag is in the sky together with the green, meaning that it is time to surf it up out there, boys and girls. In the lead, Francesco Capuzzo with a 4.80. Second position, very closely behind Anderson Rabosa's 4.73. Artur Moraes from Brazil with a 1.50. Here we have Rabosa's. He's just waiting. All right, starts to engage his kite. Up and over, back, falling behind of the wave there. Francesco is a very good backside rider. Remember when we had the event with the best waves over there in Cape Verde and Punta Preta, he ended up in 4th position, pushing hard. Also one of the top, probably my favorite backside rider will be coming up shortly, Matu Lopez. The Rob Machado of ice sport, as I call him, Mr. Tropical himself. So much style. Pushes every move and just flows. He has that rhythm to him. And I know we're going to see good things with him in this event. But back to the heat on the screen. Heat number 1, round number 3. The final round of competition for today here of the Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour kite surf discipline. And here we have Marias. Nice. Oh, that is the beauty shot right there. Getting the corner of the kite in as well. Off the top. Bada boom. Linking it together. 2 good link moves. Keeping the speed. The judges are going to be liking this one. Big carving hacks from the Brazilian. All the way. He almost needed some wheels to land here on the sand. Good long rung there from Marias. And I'm going to say, I reckon that's one of the best waves we've seen all day. All right, Francesco engaging in. In second position out there at the moment for 1.33. Francesco looking to increase on some of his wave scores. All right, got a decent wave here. Just foam riding this one all the way in. Not finding a lot of face, but this man with a 6.03 on that last surf wave, and tell you about it. A beauty of a wave. And looking forward to seeing some more surfing from this athlete. Let's not forget, first position in this heat will be making it through directly to round number 3, and then the other 2 guys are going to have to battle it out. Anderson looking a little bit frustrated out there, as there are not a lot of set waves making their way. So these guys, let's not forget, patience is a virtue and pressure is a privilege. This is what we need to see. And at the moment, it definitely looks like the pressure is on this man, who he has a very small freestyle score. But when it comes to surfing, the boy knows what he's doing. Off the top, letting those tail loose. Getting those fins out. Look at this. Links the speed. Keeps the flow. This is where the judges are giving him the extra kudos, because he is not slowing down a single moment. Always kiting the right spot. Pushing with the board. Really surfing. Big finishing hack. The Brazilian is on fire, and I tell you what, we're going to see another big score coming his way, which is just going to throw some spanners in the work, because Francesco Capuzzo is going to have to start to work this one heavy if he wants to have the opportunity of going through to round 5 directly. If not, it's going to be round number 4. 3 minutes to go. 14.20667. Watch out. Artur Moraes throwing down the hammer, the sled hammer, and throwing all the bricks out the pram. He is on fire at the moment. And this is what we love about Brazil. Nobody has heard of this guy before coming to this event. And he goes in a heat and absolutely destroys it. What a way to start off his competition. And the surfing style of this young man is pushing 2 of the top overall riders to the sidelines. All right, Capuzzo starting to get back into the flow. 10.43. Looking to improve. He needs a 6.54 if he wants to get into that first position. Here we have Artur down in it. This is looking like some nice face. So you just look how he keeps the speed. Flows all the way down. Keeps it. You can see it's not a moment where he breaks or uses the kite off the top. Loops it around to make sure that it stays. Another loop to get past the white water. A little bit of a foam ride finish here. Time in it. Oh, does he land it? Yes, he does. I reckon you consider that at a land. Can we see a replay of that last section? Anderson Rebosa's dropping in on a wave. Also, not a bad hack off the top, but once you can see it closing out in front of him. Here you go. Linking 2 turns together, trying to improve on 1.60. And here we can see, look at this, look right underneath it, all the way up the top. Comes down, but actually getting on the board and getting up. Where he has to jump off of it, 'cause if not, he would have been landing on the sand. So Marias there with a 3.33, so that's not going to improve on his score, but yeah, showing really good surfing throughout this round number 3, meaning he's going to be making his way through all the way to round number 5. Unless something big changes. Francesco Capuzzo on the prowl, circling around, wanting to smell blood. But Artur Moraes has brought it to both of these athletes, and I tell you what, 10 seconds to go. Here we have Francesco. It's now or never. Because there's the buzzer. Little bit of foam ride here from the Italian. Foam riding it again. As they're not going to be able to get those scores. So that means that making his way into the next round, we will see going all the way to round number 5, Artur Moraes. And into round number 4, both Anderson Rebosas and Francesco Capuzzo are going to have to battle it out. Let's have a little look at the highlights of some of those surfing moments.
So back again for another heat of action here down in Taiba during the kite surf event. So on the water we've got Neto, Charlie Martin and Pedro Matos with 12 minutes on the clock. And here on your screens we have Neto there just blasting his way up out into the field. So big heat here. We've got a few big names. Pedro Matos being the big guy in this heat, looking to advance onto round 5. He's got a big background when it comes to the kite surfing scene. He's a local here in Brazil, and it'll be very interesting to see how he does, because he is a world title contender for sure.
Yeah, also out there, Gabriel, we can see Charlie Martin coming out of the reunion, a very talented surfer, and looking forward to see what he can produce. Saw him surfing before, definitely got some of the moves, and now here on the freestyle. All right, loopity-loop, uppity-up. Nice kite loop board off there from him. About already Pedro Matos, 7.27 for that toe side front roll.
Yeah, Pedro Matos, he spent the last few days here training, and on your screens now, turning around all over the place like a yo-yo, but goes down. There on your screen, Neto, does he make that one? Yes, he does. So that will be a landed trick, but Pedro unfortunately going down, so his will not count. Charlie Martin now on your screens, yet to have a score on the board. Goes for a nice little kite loop with a board flip, but yeah, it doesn't land that one. But Pedro with a big score, 7.27 to start off the heat.
Wow, he's not here for a haircut, pushing around, back roll, board off, landing it nice and easy. Probably wasn't what he was actually looking for. Let's have a little look at the replay of that last move. All right, here we can see. It looks like he got a little bit of a wiggle wobble there. Didn't quite get the takeoff as he wanted to, but so much control. Look at that eye on the prize. And down, stomping the land in both feet.
Yeah, these guys do sometimes make it look easy. And there we have Neto firing up. So everyone's got a score on the board now, and it's a 1 for Pedro, a 2 for Charlie, and a 3 for Neto. So there are your scores on your screens now. And Charlie Martin front and centre. And there we have Neto over to Pedro Matos. Let's see what he's got here. Nice little, whoa, goes down, eats the water, getting caught up in a wave. Little smile on the face, knows there's time on the clock. But that's a couple there, Joe, that he hasn't been able to land. I wonder what's going through his head.
Yeah, must, you know, pre-competition jitters. Let's not forget there's a wild title race up there, and there are a few big hitters that would want that not to happen. So, unfortunately, there, Pedro just missing out. But, I mean, he has so much style, and he has the moves to prove it. Already a 7.27 as his top freestyle move straight off the bat. And then it comes down to the waves. Let's not forget, as we're back at 3-man heats, means that the first 4 minutes is freestyle, the last 8 minutes is surfing.
Yeah, I'm sure Pedro Matos would want to get his revenge against Ali Bakali, who took him out in Dahla earlier on in the year. A little bit of an upset there, and fortunately, Ali Bakali again has joined us here in Brazil, and a very talented surfer he also is. But here we go, one crash followed by another. Pedro and Charlie both going down to the drink.
Yeah, no, it is great to see Ali coming out here. Such a talented athlete, and yeah, I mean, in Dahla, getting that 4th position overall, absolutely caning it, heat after heat, and he pretty much drew all the big hitters. You know, he took out a lot of the riders, and probably one of the biggest ones being Pedro Matos. So yeah, Pedro definitely probably wants blood after that revenge. But at the moment, he is in the lead. He has that 7.27. But I will say, missing 3 front shovels in a row. Not as consistent as we've seen him, but he already put in the work early.
Yeah, sitting in first position still. Put in the early work. Got that big score, which both of those riders are chasing. And here he is on your screen now, the duotone rider. Not catching anything there. I can see out the corner of my eye. He's turned around, and now we have Charlie Martin here on your screen, looking over his shoulder left and right, trying to find the wave that comes. He might have seen something here, but unfortunately nothing. And all riders really at the moment just sort of looking out, waiting. Maybe there's a little bit of a lull in the conditions out there.
Yeah, it does look like the wind's backed off slightly. Athletes are out there at the moment. I could see it on the freestyle side. They've been out on 10-meter kites. Here we have Charlie dropping in on this nice section, pushing over. Very talented surfer, this young man. And at the moment, he is in 2nd position. Good. Decent hack. Did get a little wobble off the top there. So not as clean as he wanted. All right, let's have a look. Here we have Pedro Matos.
Yeah, a couple nice turns there for him as well. They just a few riders jumping off their boards at the end and running back upwind. And here Neto making use of a little rolling wave coming through into the sort of final section, getting in the shallows here, Joe, as he comes in close to our judges. But here's a nice turn. I thought he was going to do a nice little turn there.
Oh, Charlie. 3-6 to Rooney here to enter it off. Good. Mixing the freestyle, mixing, switching it up. Let's see. Let's get a replay of that last move there from Charlie Martin, if that's possible. As we continue on. But yeah, great maneuver there from him. Oh, Pedro Matos spinning with those very nice open reverses. Let's see if we can get a replay of that last move. You can see pushes it, lets those fins loose. So much control, keeping his body low, spinning around. Great riding here from the Brazilian.
Yeah, he's got great style, Pedro Matos. He's very, very fun and enjoyable to watch. He just makes it look so easy. And as you can see, plenty of style on every wave he catches. And now Neto on your screen, who's currently down in third position with a 5.67. So a little score there that just got updated, but not enough to push him into second. Pedro Matos sitting comfortably out in first with just over 5 minutes to go. But Charlie Martin on that last wave put in a nice little shredder. Rooney did a nice little 360, and yeah, we'll be taking the heat to Pedro.
Absolutely. I mean, they know what's on the line. They definitely know what's out there. So let's not forget, world title contender out there at the moment, Pedro Matos. I mean, let's not forget, everybody is a contender because the top riders, there's only been one event, so anything can happen. But pretty much the top riders out there, James Carew, Pedro Matos, Sebastian Ribeiro, and Machu Lopez. Let's not forget, Pedro in the 2021 season was third overall, so he has been a top 3 athlete already and in pursuit of the higher positions so far. Obviously in the 2022 ranking, as he got kicked out earlier in Dahla than expected, he is not in the top 5. Also we have Sebastian Ribeiro, a very powerful surfer, I'd say one of the biggest surfing stars we have here on tour, is also very hungry. But at the moment, Pedro Matos, who actually took the National Brazilian Championships yesterday, looking like he is in good form so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to also see how Sebastian Ribeiro adapts to these conditions, because I spoke to him the other day and he had only just got to the spot just 2 days ago. So he'd only just arrived. I mean, he is a Brazilian guy. He does spend his time, I believe, down in Rio. But yeah, only arriving a couple of days ago and maybe not having as much time on the water as the majority of the athletes. So yeah, interested to see when his heat comes up.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a little look, see when he is going to be coming out there on the ladder, as we are now currently in round number 3. So Sebastian Ribeiro will be coming out in heat number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heat number 5, round number 3. So in 3 heats time, we'll see the other Brazilian making his way out, as we're just over 3 minutes to go. Pedro Matos in the lead, and very comfortably.
Yeah, 15.87. So winning by a good 6.01. There he is on your screen, making his way back out. Plenty of time left on the clock to adapt and increase that score, but 15.87. Tough one to chase for Charlie and Neto there, but definitely doable. Still some time on the clock. And there we have Charlie Martin. Let's see, looking over his shoulder, see if we can catch a wave here and give us something special.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, it's not an elimination round out there. Basically, whoever wins round number 3 will be making it all the way through to round number 5. And then the bottom 2 will have to go to round number 4, where that is D-Day. Because if you lose there, it's time to pack your bags, have your last caipirinha, and continue on.
Yeah, no one wants to go home a caipirinha too early. And Neto on your screens, 8.53 is the score that he's on, sitting in third place, and he has done for all heat, but not far from that second position. Needs a 3.84 to advance, while Charlie Martin needs an 8.71 to take the lead. But he's got to take the lead off this man here that's on your screen, Pedro Matos, one of the top guns, and in his local country, in his home country here, riding the duotone. There's Charlie on the Cabrina, and they're all on around, so I'd say 8 and 9 meter kites. So there's wind out there, and with a minute and a half on the clock, it'll be interesting to see if any of these riders can make use of any bit of swell that rolls through. And it looks like Neto here may be on something. Here he is, looking over his right shoulder. Is that wave going to form out? Looks like it is, because he's putting in that nice carving turn, going in quite aggressively. Boom, fins out the water. That's a nice start. Let's see what else happens on this wave. Yanking the bar, trying to gain some speed and momentum. Nice little turn there. 2 turns on that wave, and sprinting and darting back up the beach.
Oh, he ain't here to hang around. He was definitely getting back. Let's see. We'll have to wait to see some of the scores coming up for that one. All right, Pedro Matos, your new Brazilian champion. You can just see him not too happy with the selection there. Really do have to pick off the good ones and have a little bit of luck to make sure that they do open up. And Charlie Martin all the way back. Good little bit of an addition of style there from the young man from the Reunion Islands. And let's see what the judges are going to think of that. I mean, obviously not a big move, but good to see the flow, good to see the, you know, kind of mixing it up. Final 10 seconds of the heat.
Yeah, and here he is again, dropping on the last wave of the heat. We've just heard, there goes the buzzer. 0 seconds on the clock. Manages to get a nice little wave to round himself in, but that's it. Heat number 2 of men's round number 3 is over, and it's going to be time to have a little look at the highlights from that heat.
And welcome back, everybody. So just information in, we have 2 more heats of the kite surf discipline, and that's going to be it for today. As after that, we are going to be switching over to the Hydrofoil Freestyle, where we will be stopping the stream and then restarting the stream half an hour afterwards as we move it all over to Hydrofoil-Freestyle. Out there on the water, we have round 3, heat number 3. We have Jadis Delormo, was that man just twirling in the air. Camille Delanois, who is one of the most talented strapless freestyle athletes we have. And Wesley Silva, the local Brazilian 3-man heat. First 4 minutes, freestyle moves. 5 maneuvers, 1 moves counts.
And Camille there with a 7.27 to just start things off quite nicely. Within the first minute, there he is on your screen there, the North Rider, getting a nice score on the board. Big freestyle background, this chap. He's a very talented rider, like what you said, Joe, and had a nice, good performance over in Dahla. And yeah, I think being able to showcase his freestyle side a little bit more on this event. It was pretty much a pure wave session over in Dahla because the waves were so good. So yeah, keen to see how that will dictate during the event.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Camille, he lives over in Praia, which is about 2 hours up the coastline, where we've had a World Cup events before. It is the strapless freestyle paradise, where you can see similar conditions to here. Right foot forward, nice little kickers coming and rolling in with strong winds. So obviously, you know, for Camille, he is almost in his back garden. You can already see starting up with a 7.27. Boy, looks like he's on top form.
Yeah, great score to get on the scoreboards early doors. And there, Yaris on your screen, just moving over to Camille now. He's lining up something. Will he make use of this kicker? Yes, he does. Goes high. Kite loop, little board tweak, and goes down. Unfortunately, just a little bit of a butt check, but still, there's plenty of wind out there for those guys to do kite loops.
Yeah, you can see that board off kite loop tic-tac. Nice move from Camille, and Wesley Silva just jumping into our screen. Jadis Delormo, also a very complete rider. He's great in the strapless freestyle discipline. All right, and it looks like now, as Camille already has a good wave up on there. He's looking very relaxed, very chilled, very calm. Now it's time for him to go out and maybe just eye off those sets. Let's not forget, it is in the first 4 minutes they got to perform at their freestyle maneuvers. All right, Yanis, he's got the speed. What's he got for us here on the inside? Up and away, going for the board off kite loop. Just missing out on the landing there.
Yeah, interesting there, watching Camille on your screens changing board. He's just gone from the North Comp, which is sort of their freestyle board, and he's switched to what looked like the Charge, which is their sort of down-the-line wave board. So maybe he's happy there, Joe, with his freestyle score of 7.27, and he's grabbed the wave board for going pure wave style for the sort of final 9 minutes of this heat.
And let's have a look at the scores at the moment. Camille obviously in the lead. Second position we have Giannis Delormo, 30 seconds to go. Looks like he is going to be aiming for something, maybe left foot forward. But no, I think he's coming into the shore, because as then they need to go out and go for the waves. A lot of them are changing their equipment. And will take the wave board out onto the water. So Camille Delanois, 10 seconds until he starts his wave adventure here for this round number 3 of competition, the season finale of the kitesurf discipline of the Qatar Airways GKA Kite World Tour.
All the caddies on the beach, all the riders have got their caddies on the beach with their kites in the air, so plenty of chopping and changing around here. Wesley Silva, 3.73 on the scorecards there, so we'll want to improve on that for sure and give the other two athletes a little bit of a run for their money. And Camille here making use of this wave, yanking the bar, gaining lots of power, getting low, and that's a lovely little hack at the top of the wave there, but just closes out on him there, a little bit of a foam ball. Nice replay here. Joe, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, you can see he gets the turn, drives through the fins. One hit wonder, but still good to get some scores up there. 2.77 coming his way, so he is in the lead so far. But I'm presuming we're going to be seeing some better wave riding since, because let's not forget, Wesley Silva, the same way as the other Brazilians we saw there from Artur Moraes, they are very talented wave riders. Freestyle really is not their thing, and they could bring and throw down some of those bombs. We'll have to soon find out. Yaris there just losing his edge on the inside section of that wave.
Yeah, getting swallowed up there. And Camille on your screen, just turning around, doesn't like the look of that one. Just looking out the edge of the window now. It just looks to be a little bit messy out there, a little bit flat at the moment. They'll just be waiting for those sets to roll in. But here, Wesley making use of a wave that is coming his way. Gets one nice turn. Let's see if he can get another. Gets that second turn, but in the whitewash. Carving his way down, getting to the top. That's the best turn of the wave so far for sure. Fourth one there. Nice little round off. We can sort of hear the crowd cheering a little bit on the beach. So clearly a good little wave there.
Yeah, no, he's got to be happy with that one. Shame he didn't get the finisher. And here we have Camille engaging one more time. Going a little bit too straight. Oh, can he time it right? Just getting underneath the lip there. You can see the frustration. Yanis dropping in on a nice little bomb. Oh! Getting thrown right into the washing machine. The young Italian.
See the smile on his face though there. Sort of enjoyed that one a little bit, but for sure went down and got swallowed up by that one. 5.5 minutes now on the clock. We've still got Camille in first position with a 10.04. Yaris with an 8.7 in second position. And Wesley still sitting in that third position. And here he is on your screen with a 7.8.
Oh, this is looking like a nice wave here for Wesley Silva. Gets the timing, smack off the top. Can he come out of it? No, just going down. That was a shame because he did time that one very nicely.
Yeah, very nice wave, that one. Shame he couldn't make use of that final turn, but here, Camille on your screen, just really opening up the body, gaining some speed. Let's see if he can make use of this turn. We'll definitely be wanting to have a little bit more punch going forward.
Yeah, you can see just not quite getting the push that he needed there, but still, I reckon that might increase on one of his scores slightly, as it was a little bit of a better ridden wave. You can see he did get one more turn on it and linked it together ever so slightly better. And yep, that does look like a 3.37, so 30.57 there for Camille in the lead. Second, we have Wesley Silva, and third, Yanis Loamo, currently on your screen as we just come up to 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, final few minutes in this heat now. Wesley on your screen, pushing himself up into second position. So got a few nice waves there. Yaris on your screen, just sort of flatlining this wave and backing out of it. Didn't like the look of that one.
Nah, he was not a fan of what he saw there, decided against it. I mean, Yanis knows he's got 2 small wave scores, so he needs to get the bigger scores. And to be able to get the bigger scores, you need to get the set waves. 4 minutes on the clock. There's probably time for one good set wave. He only needs a 5.78, so more than possible. I reckon it probably was the right move to go back out.
I agree with you there on that one as well. Time on the clock, but time is precious when it comes to, you know, picking and choosing the right waves. You don't want to go and jump on a wave too early and then look over your shoulder and see your competitors riding absolute bombs. So Camille here sitting nicely on 13.57, so Wesley Silva needs a 5.78 to advance to the lead, and let's see if this wave can open up for Yaris.
Yeah, he's definitely in the right position. This is when this hits that second sandbank and it makes it all the way down, but nope. Looks like that one unfortunately didn't. As that tide is pushing up, you really can see the waves are a little bit all over the place, which is why after the next heat, that is going to be it for kite surf here today, as we would start bright and early tomorrow, meaning that the tides will be in exactly the same position. Mid-face turn here, Camille.
Dropping in, getting into the shallows, but yeah, but sort of 2 waves managed to sort of fold in on themselves there, and here we have Wesley Silva. But Joe, we've talked a little bit about the sandbanks that are out at this competition site. Last week we were here for the wing foiling. Just explain, and you know, how do these sandbanks work, and sort of whereabouts do we see them?
Well, when this tide is at its good position, which is about half tide pushing up, there's an A-frame right in front of the competition area. Then there's a little left-hander on the left-hand side of the comp area. And then sometimes when the bombs come through, there's a right-hander that rolls all the way down. We've been seeing some of the better rides like we saw there before from Artur Moraes, was grabbing it from that second section and riding it all the way in front of the judges. But you've got to be A, in the right place, and B, know the place to see when that's happening, because as it is quite bumpy and quite mushy out there, it is very hard to read.
Yeah, that's the good thing about having these early rounds as well, and the riders not being, you know, sort of eliminated straight away. They're able to use these rounds just to sort of get a feel of the conditions, sort of find where the sweet spots are out there, and when they next come on the water, they're hopefully coming in with a little bit more confidence. And here we can see Wesley Silva with what looks to be quite one of the nicer waves of the set.
Yeah, there you can see. Here it fumbles again, and then there's kind of like two sections. This lifts it up again. Good timing all the way through, driving through those fins. And this is where it hits that bottom section, where unfortunately he has gone against that one, so that's only going to be a 2-hit wave. And here we have Camille Delanois. Let's see. Off of the top, down. Oh, tripwire. I know what he was saying in French.
The board looks to be catching the wave all the way to the shore there, and we come into the water final minute. Camille on first position with 13.57, Wesley Silva with a 10.67, and Yaris in third position, 8.7. And here he is on your screen now. Let's see if this wave can open up and push him into second place.
Yeah, he needs a big one if he can, because Wesley Silva has pushed his way through on these last two waves. Good hack up and over. And he was liking that. Wesley Silva just waiting for a number to be dropped. Watch out, as he needs a 5.78. That is the end of the heat, but just waiting for confirmation on scores to be coming our way. But before we get the results, let's go and have a little look at the highlights of that previous heat.
So back now, 12 minutes on the clock for the final heat of the men's kite-surf freestyle today. And big names in this one, Joe.
Yes, there certainly are. We have some big boys out there playing in the water. Matthew Lopez on your screen. He has been a world champion and looking like he is on fire already. Front shove it. Let's not forget Kiko Royce, El Anguila, coming out of Spain. Nuestro bicho, also one of the top riders. And then we have Clement Rosselló, who has been putting on one hell of a performance, both in the wing foil and also out here on the strapless freestyle. So as it stands, it is Matthew Lopez, Kiko Roy. You can see Matthew warming up. Oh, Clement there with a grab front roll, just not quite getting the kite in the sweet spot. As there's 3 athletes out there in the water, it means that they have 4 minutes to perform their moves. Matthew Lopez out there in the front looking, trying to get and see if he can find a ramp. Deciding against it. Matthew last year ending up 3rd overall. He is sitting 3rd overall this year and was 4th overall last year in the last event. Let's not forget he came 3rd over there, and we're looking forward to see what he is going to be producing down in the Brazilian waters. Just trying to handle pass there on the inside there for Matthew and Clement. These boys are keeping it busy.
Matthew Lopez, the only one to not have a score on the board just yet, but Kiko, nice little 6.83 as an opener for him. Clement there, 2nd place, 3.97. And there he is on your screen, Matthew Lopez.
Yeah, just waiting for some scores to be dropped by Matthew, just waiting for the system to refresh. And we will see some numbers coming his way, as it's looking like, I reckon he is going to be going into 2nd position, 6.20 for that front roll shove it. Kiko going for the double shove it, but not quite getting the rotation. And I tell you what, there's one thing I will always say, and that is body language. And Matthew Lopez, he looks like he is hungry out there.
Looking focused for sure. You sort of can see that when he's rigging up his kite gear on the beach as well, fully in the zone, wants to do well, and you know there's a title potentially on the line for him as well. He had a good result over in Dakar, Morocco, but finishing 3rd. So putting in a good performance this year. It is only the 2nd tour stop that we've been able to have for the kite surf calendar, but you know it leaves it wide open.
It definitely does. I mean, doors are wide open. Kiko is definitely going to try and go for this double shove it, as he could improve on that score, because he knows he has the downside when it comes to the surfing against these 2 athletes. Kiko more of the strapless freestyler. But anything can happen. He's been training out here hard and looking forward to see how he performs in the wave. Macho here. Just wondering, talking to Matt to see what kind of scores are up there.
Yeah, looks to be coming in actually and maybe switching something up. Either that or he's just trying to get as far upwind as he possibly can. But we can also see here a kite change going on for Kiko. So, yeah, the caddies are proving to be very important at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, especially when they come down and they're going for the waves, you want to probably be on one size smaller. And so a lot of the guys, they go for the pure wave kite. When they're doing the big air, you see them on some of the more big air kites. So here, having a look, Matthew out there. 6.83. He knows he's in the lead, and here we have Quiquet El Anguila with his new fresh haircut, the acai bowl.
The acai bowl.
And let's see how slick and how fast he is going to be out there today.
A fresh Brazilian trim coming into the event, and going out now on an 8 meter. So that's the kite that he's chosen to go on. But right now, Clement on your screen, but just catching an edge there, going down. And here he is, the acai bowl with legs, going out and just getting swamped a little bit by that wave there.
Yeah, a little bit too much of the old honey there on that wave, unfortunately. So now it is all about the surfing. Matthew Lopez, I will say it is, for me, one of my favorite athletes when it comes to backside surfing. And this is where it is about. Here we have him speeding along, taking a little look. Look at the face and look at his engagement. You can see, nope, wasn't too happy about that one. Decides against it, continues on. One of the things with Matthew is so expressive out there. He really does. You can see his body language. You can see he's pushing forward. Had a little chat to him this morning. He's like, I'm here. I'm ready to do it. And I want to push as hard as possible. Because let's not forget, he is one of the top contenders.
Yeah, definitely a top contender, Matthew. And the thing I love about Matthew as well, he just loves his kiting. Like, whenever you chat to him about the sport and about where he goes, he shows so much passion. He does all sorts of clinics when he's not doing the tour, so he's always looking to give back to the sport, which has given him such a nice lifestyle, traveling the world, competing, you know, shredding the waves at some of the best locations in the world.
Yeah, and here we can see Kiket on the middle here, just all of them looking for waves. We've seen sets coming through about every 4 to 5 minutes, and Matthew just out there waiting and just chilling to see if he can get something coming his way. I reckon he might just drop in on a little one of these inside rollers just to kind of, you know, start to loosen it up. So, all right, Matthew Lopez dropping in. Here we go. Just look at the difference, how he wraps it around, making sure up and over.
You're seeing all the riders come in really, really quite close into the shoreline, and good there for Matthew. Will be a nice little wave score just to get a score on the boards, because he's currently sitting in third position, and here you can see just that backside riding is so elegant, isn't it, Joe?
It certainly is, opening up the shoulders, going all the way around. So Matthew, just with those two hits, 4.70. So you can see judges really liking the verticality and the flow. Clement, just that wave flattening out and going off the back there, unfortunately for him.
Maybe another change up here. Lots of equipment changes going on there. Just under 5 minutes on the clock. So Matthew Lopez going into first position with that score, 10.90.
Oh, wow, there it is, as we continue on. Matthew in the lead as we come to the final 5 minutes of this heat. Easy wave out there at the moment of 4.70, and he's looking to push forward because Clement is very closely on his feet. All right, here we have a good wave. Pushing over, again a little bit of a foam ride, continues on, foam ride all the way down, trying to get past the section. Yes, he does. And just as you can see, no waves out there for him so far. But still racking up some of the points as conditions are tricky. This is why after this heat, we will be moving on to the Hydrofoil Freestyle, where at 3:45 in the afternoon, we will be back on the stream to start off with the Hydrofoil Freestyle. Let's not forget a one-stop World Championship title, where we have Charles Brodell, your current world champion, looking on top form. But there are quite a few riders who want to take a run at the title, as we're just coming under 4 minutes. And Clement all the way down. Matthew, 13.67, racking this one way all the way down the competition area, as the waves are definitely very far and few between as this tide is one of the highest tides that there's been here all month. Low tide this morning, the rocks were out. Kiko, boom, getting it. Can he come forward? No, he doesn't. Just not quite getting it out there. Let's not forget the winner of this heat will make his way round to round number 5. And the bottom two will have to battle it out in round number 4. On top form, looking like he is in contention to take this heat. Your man on the screen, Mr. Tropical, Matthew Lopez. All right, Matthew, eyes in the sky. Just making sure he's going on my first, on my second. Where am I at? Where am I at? Just trying to get it. Okay, so yeah, he understands a little bit of the hand signals there. It's one of the beauties of the live scoring. Our athletes knows the ins and the outs, where they're at, what they need, how they need to produce the goods to be able to make their way through to the rounds. Matthew there just making sure he's in first position. Clement coming in, and it does look like he might have a little bit of a ripple behind him.
Yeah, he's looking over his left, looking over his right, switches stances now as he potentially will drop in on the wave. But focus goes back onto Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew, just look how he gets it, wraps it around, pushes, and these waves are small. Kind of like we saw there from Anders. Oh, good, very nice turn. It's like we said before, with the athletes that manage to keep the speed throughout the wave, those are the ones that are going to get the love from the judges. And here we have Kiket with his prime and shine acai bowl haircut. Silky smooth out there on the water. But he looks like he is in second position at the moment, so obviously he needs a little bit more granola to that bowl.
For sure he does, and here he is on your screen. Getting nicely done there. I thought he was going to lose his momentum, but manages to come out of that wave nicely. And we saw previously as well, Clement getting a nice vertical turn.
Yeah, grande Kiket. Off the top, all the way down. That is a big move there from Kiko Roy. Sí, señor, Torito. As we're coming in to the final 45 seconds, Kiko Roy in second position out there at the moment in front of Clement. And here we can see Matthew Lopez knowing that he is in control of this heat so far, as we are just under those 30 seconds to the end, and that will be the end of the kite surfing for today.
It will be, and we'll then move on to the hydrofoil freestyle discipline, where some new riders will get out onto the water. And here, Clement on your screens in third position. Board nearly getting away from him there, but back on your screens here, second position, Kiket.
Yeah, well, there it is. That's the sound. So that is the buzzer. So let's have a little look at the highlights of that last heat before we end off the stream here of the kite surfing. And welcome back, everybody, as there it is. That is it for today. That is it. That is it for today for the GKA Kite World Tour Strapless, the kite surfing division, as we have had already some action and made our way through to round number 3 out there on the water, halfway through round number 3, and we'll be back bright and early tomorrow. So on behalf of us here on the stream, we will see you tomorrow, as we are now going to cut the stream for half an hour, and then at 3:45 local time, which will be 7:45 Central European time, we will be going live with the first heats of the Hydrofoil Freestyle. We'll see you in a bit.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!